Well, hey you guys, this is Kim at the Abled Gardener, and I am just getting one of my garden boxes ready to plant my spinach. Now the spinach has been inside in my grow room in the greenhouse, and it's a whole different climate in there, but I have been bringing the spinach out almost on a daily basis, putting it out in the natural light and just getting it used to being outside. So pretty much not a reverse hardening off, but hardening off for the winter time. So I'm gonna get the spinach in the ground, but I do need to put up a little hoop house. Now last year, I had an 8-foot hoop house here on this bed, and I decided to cut it in two or have it shorter. I wanted two pieces that were 4 feet. So I've got the PVC pipe left, I've got all the connections, everything I need to get up just one 4x4 section of greenhouse or hoop house. So the hoop house that I made last year, it was just a very, very simple and inexpensive hoop house, just an A-frame. So I still have all the connectors, all the pipe, everything I need to just put it back together, because I didn't glue any of it together. I knew I was going to take it apart and then just store it somewhere so I could use it this winter. Anyway, I've got the bed all cleaned up. The soil is fluffed up a little bit. Now I didn't dig into the soil, I just took my rake, and this metal rake works really well. You just get it down to, well, down to the size that you want, and you can just go over the top 1 to 2 inches and just get the soil just fluffed up a little bit and leveled out. Now I want the greenhouse on there so that at least there can be some warmth in that greenhouse. Plus we have a lot of dogs running around, and I don't want the dogs running over my spinach and, well, just trampling it to death. But I am going to get that hoop house put together as fast as I can, get it covered with some plastic, and then I'll get my spinach planted. Well, hey you guys, I've gotten almost this whole hoop house put together, and this is just a 1 4x4 foot section. And that's because I didn't want to be rummaging through a lot of PVC pipe and have you guys waiting while I did that. I wanted to make sure I had all the pieces that went together, and I went ahead and put most of it together. Just left this one corner so that I could bring you in closer and show you how the corner or the bottom corner goes together. Now there are 3 connectors down on the 4 corners, and you only need to buy 2 of those. One of the pieces is just a little 1.5 inch section of PVC pipe, so you can cut that yourself out of just some extra PVC pipe you have on hand, because you are going to have a few extra little pieces. Just depending on how big you make your hoop house, you're going to be cutting some of it and you're going to have some small pieces left. You can make that little section out of that. I've gotten 3/4 inch PVC pipe, schedule 40, and that's the strongest pipe that you can get. I've gotten all my connectors. I also got 2 1-inch conduit straps, and those are going to act as my hinges for the back, because I do want to be able to open this hoop house, get the food that I want out or pick my spinach, and then be able to set it back down. I've got my plastic, I've got it all cut because it was cut from last year. Now I also found some PVC pipe snaps, and this is just used to snap your plastic on. Now last year I had used duct tape to put the plastic on. It looked really bad, and then after I got it taped on, I found these online and I ordered a box of these little snaps or clips. So I did end up using these toward the end of last year or last winter, just to hold the plastic back on because the tape was coming off. So anyway, I've got a box of these, and I'll use those to put the plastic on. Now one thing that I did do, I have a worm tower in this bed. Well, I have a worm tower in each one of my beds, but this one was a little too high for the PVC pipe. So I did have to take the worm tower out, dig down and sink that just a little bit so the PVC pipe will be resting on that worm tower. So I'm going to get my little connectors and get them ready to put this corner together. Now I also wanted to mention cutting the PVC pipe. Now there are a variety of little tools that they make that you can cut PVC pipe with. The best thing that I found to use, and the one that I like the best, is just a jigsaw. So when I mark my PVC pipe, I just take my jigsaw, cut it off with that. It works really fast. I don't have to use a lot of hand motion to to clamp down on the PVC pipe. Even though these are really sharp, I just find using the jigsaw a whole lot easier for me. So I'm going to bring you down so you can see this corner and how it goes together and how simple it is. Now down here at the corner, the PVC pipe and connectors are fitting exactly on this 4-foot section. So just know when you do measure what you're going to put your hoop house on, that you are going to have to cut a little bit more off the PVC pipe just for the amount that it goes into the connector. And it usually goes in somewhere right around 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch. Well, you guys, here we are down at the corner, and like I said, it just takes 3 connectors. One of them on the bottom is a 3-way connector. Since I have 3/4 inch PVC pipe, these are all 3/4 inch openings. That goes on the bottom. Then what you need is a little short piece of PVC pipe. Now, like I said, I purchased these, and then I found out I just could cut 1.5 inches off my PVC pipe and it would work the same. So don't buy these little guys. It's just going to cost you extra money when you can cut 1.5 inches off of your PVC pipe and stick it in the top. Then on the top, you just need to put down a 45-degree angle connector, and that is going to go to the top of your hoop house. Now on this upper area, it's just another 3-way. So what you need to do is get your lower part put together. Get the 4 sections down here on the bottom put together. You can cut this top section to be the same as one of the long ends on the bottom. And then what you'll do is you'll need to measure these side angles so that they come up and just almost touch each other. Well, then up at the top of the A-frame hoop house, this is just another 3-way connector. So it connects this long top to the 2 sides coming up. Now I'm going to go ahead, and since I just put this together, I'm going to go ahead and just knock it a little bit so that it goes all the way into the connector. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish by putting this bottom piece all the way in. So there's my frame completely done, and now I'm going to get the plastic on, and then I will go ahead and put the hinges on the back side, and that'll be it. I can plant my spinach. Now the easiest way to get your plastic on your hoop house is to lay the plastic down somewhere, say inside the house or out here somewhere where somewhere where you have some flat land, somewhere on your lawn maybe. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay this down on a flat area, put the frame on it, and then I'll get my PVC pipe clips and get this clipped to the house. Now I did go ahead and I cut this plastic out last night when I was inside. So I just laid it out in my living room, measured it so that it would fit on my hoop house perfectly, and then just folded it up so I could bring it outside today. So that's why it's cut just perfectly for this hoop house. I'm just going to get this on here. I'll show you how the PVC clamps work, and they are snaps and they just go on like a snap. Now just remember at the lower bottom corners that it didn't go just together like at a 90-degree angle. It had that little jog in it where it had the piece of PVC pipe and then the 45-degree angle. So it's going to be a little bit different on the corners. And what I'm going to do is just push it in a little bit and then pull it down and wrap it around the plastic and get a clamp on here. I'm not going to go through all this like I said, just basically you can see that I pulled one side over and then tucked it under pretty much like a bed sheet, and then you pull it tight, pull this one tight over, get a clamp where they come together here, go ahead and do the rest of the way, and then what I did was I cut the extra plastic off inside. So I'll get this one put together and then I'll show you the finished product. So for putting these clamps on the back to act as hinges, you only need 4 screws, a drill or a screwdriver. You need either a knife or a pair of scissors, and then a pair of lineman pliers or some kind of pair of pliers, because you're going to take this little conduit strap and you're going to straighten out the sides so that they're not bent anymore. So now you have a little strap that the sides are bent down, and those sides are going to go over your 2x12 or your 2x10, whatever you have your box made out of. Now I'm just going to put 2 on here, so I'm going to put one right about here and one just right over here. Now the strap is going to go through there, over my PVC pipe, and then I'm going to drill it into the wood. Now before drilling this in, you want to make sure that your PVC pipe is down tight against the board. So now my clamps are on, and I have hinges for my hoop house. Well, you guys, my hoop house is done. It's on hinges, and now all I have to do is get a couple of small screw eyes. I'll put one in the PVC pipe at the top here, one down here on the board, and what I'll do is I'll run a nylon twine from both sides so that I can push this back, and what it'll do is it'll just hang on that twine or that string. I can work in here and then I can just pull it back down. Just be careful if you do use a string and you do that kind of technique, that when you put the hoop house back down, that the string is either pushed inside or pushed away somehow so it doesn't become a tripping hazard. I'm just going to leave it over for now until I can find some twine and probably one more hoop eye that I can put on the wood and the PVC pipe. So I'm going to get the spinach planted for now. It looks like it's going to rain any minute, well, any second. So I'm going to get these planted and get that done first. Well, you guys, I can hear it thundering off in the distance, so I know the rain is coming. Now I'm just going to be really careful with my little spinach babies. Get them planted here just gently in the ground. They don't need to be pushed down a lot. What I'm going to do is leave just about a foot by foot space for my spinach plant, because it's going to get pretty big, and I'll be coming out here and I'll just be harvesting leaves off the plants as they grow. Now you can see how rich this soil is. All I did was run a rake over it a few times, and this is going to be great soil for these little spinach to grow in. Well, you guys, thanks for joining me today on the remaking of my greenhouse and getting my bed ready for my spinach. I appreciate you guys coming by today, and I'll be talking to you later. God bless you guys. Bye-bye.